Right. Thank you everyone for turning up today, especially the victim's family who approached me about what's gone off, and I did say that we'll come along and we'll make some noise for them. So basically what it is, just to let everyone know, over in the spot over there, a 23-year-old female had been on a website called Hinge. Now this young lady, she is a lesbian, and she joined this website in the hope to meet someone alike. Now she'd been talking to this person for 2 weeks on Hinge. This person that she believed was a woman who went by the name of Caitlin. Now, after 2 weeks, she decided that they'd meet up. The arrangement was to meet up here, which was on the 17th of June. She turned up, and unfortunately, it was a male that had been pretending to be a woman the whole time. And he obviously took advantage and raped her. Now, the reason why we're here today is the police are not saying anything about the ethnicity of this person, even though they have the DNA. The victim's mother has spoken to the police, and the police said, "We can't give you that information because it would cause a scene." Well, that just about sums it all up, doesn't it? We've also learnt, while we've been here, the guy in the cafe has now informed us that there was a fisherman on the day this happened who took a photograph of a person in the bushes who we believe was the suspect. The police then went to this person. They have got the photo, obviously, so they do know the ethnicity of this man. Why are they not telling people this? Why are they covering it up? This has got to stop. The police are being too complicit in hiding the identity of people that are in this country harming our women and children. It needs to stop. Now, regardless of whether this guy is white or whether he's an immigrant or whatever, the fact is, this was done on the internet. This girl was groomed on the internet. This should not be happening. We go up and down the country and we advocate for women's safety and children's safety. We are anti-immigration, but today this is mainly about this poor girl, and we're hoping that somewhere along the line, as you can see if anyone's filming, if you look around the area, I've been here since 9 o'clock this morning and there's been people walking about since then. This happened between 11:30 and 12 o'clock in the day. Now someone somewhere must have seen something, but no one is coming forward, or if they have come forward, the police are not telling the parents. I believe the parents need to know, and so does the community. People need to know what is happening in their community, and it's high time the police stop pissing about and hiding people's ethnicity for the fear of being called racist. This can't go on any longer. These people that are coming into this country are here from a different culture that does not align with ours, and it never will do. They come here and they're getting away with it because the police will not say anything. And I don't care if there's any police officers on here, but it's about time you grew a pair of bollocks and started admitting your mistakes.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough!
So we're going to have a few speakers today. I'd just like to let everyone know to welcome the family for coming along and for asking for this to happen. I have said we will fully support them. Also, they are going to be doing a petition to have CCTV put up in this area. Now, apparently the area over there is now known as Rape Alley. So why are the police or the local councils not doing something to make people more safer? There's signs saying CCTV in action. Well, I walked around there this morning and there's no CCTV along there whatsoever. And as you can see, the woods, people can hide in there, everything. Why is there no CCTV? Why are the local women not being made safe in this town? It needs to be sorted out. So when this petition gets up and running, I will be relaying it on to Unite the Right UK for everyone to sign. Anyone else here that's got any groups, I'd appreciate if you do that as well, so we can get this going and support the family. So I'm going to let the other speakers talk now. And again, thank you very much for turning up.
Let's give it up for Steve there. Thank you ever so much for that. We really appreciate it. Our next speaker is going to be another young lady. Not another, sorry, I beg your pardon. I've got it wrong. I don't know if she wanted her name being called out, so I'm going to say another young lady in pink would like to have a few words today. Come on, let's give it together for Hayley. That's it, don't mind me saying it. Well done, Hayley. Here we go.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for everyone turning up today. We really do appreciate it, because same as Steve has just told you, we found out about this last week for Unite the Right, and I thought, you know, I've driven 2.5 miles, so 2.5 hours. I always get it wrong. 2.5 hours to get here, because I feel that our women and our children are under attack, and they're literally coming from all directions. And I'm looking at this park today and I can see that there is no CCTV. I actually asked a couple of police that are around here, I said to them, when do you patrol this park? And she said, oh yes, all the time. Then when I asked more specific, what times, she says, when I've got time. Then it changed between the hours of 9 and 3. And there's literally 2 of them that walk around and then the next shift comes on. I don't really have any confidence that they're here to protect our women and our children, because if they were, they would have released the details of this man. They would also have, what's the word, notices up here like they used to. If there's an incident that happened in a park, if there's an accident, a grape, everyone would know about it. And everyone that's walking in this park that I've spoken to ladies here that are coming here on their own that have got no idea what happened here 2 weeks ago. I've spoken to 2 or 3 of them. They've actually turned their route back, got back into their cars and drove off because they weren't aware of what's going on. The only way that we're going to get this information out here, the only way we're going to expose of what's going on is that people start talking about it. And it doesn't matter about the numbers. It doesn't matter how many people show up. I've stood out protesting on my own. It doesn't bother me. It's about the message that you get across. Because us women have to protect ourselves. You know, we can walk around here on our own. Luckily, we have a lot of men that help and support us, and I bless them, because without them, I've come into a few heavy situations, but without them and their support, they would have been turned out a lot different. But what I'm saying is that we have no protection. We're not even allowed to carry a spray to protect ourselves. But let's have a look. But the police, when they go out, what do they have to protect themselves? They've got pepper spray, they've got batons, you know, they've got the full force of the law. We've got nothing. We're actually on our own. They have left us, what's the word? Vulnerable, that's it. They've left us vulnerable and without protection. And this goes all the way up. This is not the police just turning a blind eye. This is the government, and this is their the powers that be. This is them telling them to not to be more severe and more harsh on people like us, because we want to expose it. They don't want it exposed. And what people have got to understand is that this is going to keep happening. These men, and I'm not talking about any men, I'm just talking about a percentage of men will continue to do this. Whether they're coming over 1,000 of them a week that we don't know about, they're not documented, they're not vetted, we don't know what their sexual orientation is. There's no risk assessment when these men come into our communities. Who's doing the sex risk assessment? Who's doing the crime risk assessment? No one. We're left to do it ourselves. So if we don't stand up and if we don't unite and if we don't come together, this is going to get worse. And what it is, I don't know if anyone's heard the one in Surrey. It's now a 2-year-old has been raped and murdered for a 2-year-old. Last week it was a 5-year-old. You know, it's happening daily. And we've got to stand, we've got to be together, because if we don't stand together, we will lose this war against us, because they are not stopping. If we stop, if we back down, they're going to come for us more and more. Thank you.
Well done, Hayley. That was really good. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to have a few words myself, probably more than a few words. Actually, some of you who know me, I know I like to get on the mic. I like to say what needs to be said. Okay, right, well, it's all about awareness today, isn't it? Part of what Hayley was saying was people don't even know what happens in their own community. They don't know the violent sexual rape happens just across that way there. I'm appalled to hear about this story. I'm even more appalled to hear that people are starting to call it Rape Alley. I don't want to live in a country where there's anywhere being called Rape Valley. I want to live in a country that's safe. I want to live in a country where women and children especially are safe in their own country. That's what we should be working towards. We all know there has been multiple failings by the police, and this is just the latest in a long string of them. We were demanding answers. Release the ethnicity of the attacker. We know you've got the DNA. The police, give us this information. We want to know. We have a right to know. We don't feel safe in our communities. We want to be feeling safe, but unfortunately, moving on a bit, we're talking about illegal immigration. There's been so many people who have been plopped into communities, Operation Scatter, as the government call it, being placed into communities up and down the country with people that we simply have no idea who they are. They could be ISIS terrorists. In fact, some of them have proved to be. They could be killers, rapists, people who are violent thugs. We just don't know, and they're plopped in communities up and down the country. We don't know if it was one of those people who committed this vile act. I also don't know if it was a white man who committed that vile act. And we will call them out. We don't care about their skin colour. We care about justice for the victim. We are here to support the family of that poor young girl. Here to support them and to make sure that the community around here starts to know what is actually going on here. And it is not good. As Hayley was saying, this is not going to stop. Every day we see in the newspapers horrific acts being committed in our own country. We do not have to live like this. I'm here to say, we've got to be coming together, looking after each other, forming those family and community bonds, looking out for each other, and basically trying our best to counter what's going on in this country. And let's be honest, it's a disaster what's happened to this country. Mass uncontrolled immigration for the last 30 years has destroyed it. Absolutely destroyed it. The Labour government, I call them LIBOR, because that's all they do is lie and lie and lie. They've got to go. They've got to go. They're the people who are letting in these hundreds of thousands, millions at a time coming in here, changing whole communities, changing them beyond recognition. I come from near Birmingham, and in Birmingham we've got Alan Rock. It's 96% non-white. That'll never be coming back. That is just gone. They say they're here not to colonise. Well, I say that's total rubbish. It's rubbish. Stand up and fight for your community. Stand up and fight for your people. They care. It matters. And what really matters is white lives. White lives matter. Yeah. White lives matter. White lives matter. Exactly. So as I say, coming together, doing events like this, raising awareness. I've been to numerous events up and down the country, and will continue to do so, to try and tell people what's really going on in this country. And it's damn, it's bad. When you think you know it all, trust me, you don't. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. We're now 70% white British in this country. And in the 90s, 95-ish% white British. So we've lost about 25% in such a short time, 30 years. We know the direction of travel is coming. They reckon we'll be a minority in our own ancestral homeland within 20 years. We can tell what's happening. And trust me, these people who are coming here, they openly say, we're here to colonise, we're here to take over, we're here for the benefits, we're here for the welfare, and most importantly, we're here to rape your women and children. And I'm here to say, stand with me and say, no, not on my watch, never. You should not be in this country. Leave. Leave voluntarily before you're forced to leave. We have had enough. And when enough people say enough is enough, things are going to change. So please, please support your fellow patriotic events, no matter where they are. Just go and try and get there. If you can't get there, tell your friends, your family, your colleagues. Tell people who will maybe living nearby to go and support these events. We want to just get people to come out onto the streets to promote, the message of what's actually going on in this country. We actually, locally from in Birmingham, we had a street party on Monday when we found out that Keir Starmer was resigning. Finally, that trait's gone. He's going. The tyrant has gone. And yes, we had loads and loads of people of support. We had many, many people supporting us that day, and it was just on a whim, a little flash protest outside the hotel. Well, I tell you what, I wasn't impressed with the West Midlands police response time. It took over an hour and a half to come down and say hello to us. And they said to us, oh, what are you doing here? Your allocated spot for protesting is on a Friday night. Because we also have a protest there every Friday in Warmley outside the local Ramada Hotel in Sutton Coldfields, 5 till 7 p.m. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Police Officer, you need to go back to police training school because you're allowed to have a peaceful protest whenever you like. You don't have allocated days for it. If you want to go out there and make your voice heard, you can. And that's what happens with these police. They think they could just bully you, intimidate you, make up laws on the spot. We've also had them coming down, and we got it on a video done by Andy Public UK, and in it clearly the police were saying that filming in public is anti-social behaviour. It's not, and never will be. That's a lie. That's a lie he just mentioned. These police need to do better. We want them to do better. We support law and order, but we do not support them being political. It is terrible what's happening with the two-tier policing. We see it everywhere. Everywhere you go, you can see it. It happened in Wolverhampton yesterday when a far-left extremist turned up to our protest there outside the Goldthorn Hotel against the illegal immigration. We want all of the hotels closed and all of the illegals deported. He was turned up multiple times, squaring up to members of our group. And the police did nothing. They were people crossing the road, causing trouble with the traffic, yet he was allowed to stay. Even when we point these things out, he's just allowed to shout, it's vile, it's poison, it's nonsense. And coming up to people causing trouble. If there was anyone who was even slightly right-wing leaning, they'd have been asked to go. They'd have had to have been forced away. So yeah, please, let's never forget the message of saying no to two-tier policing and no to two-tier justice. Why? And we keep seeing these Mickey Mouse lenient sentences being given to people who are non-white. Why is that? And when if you're white and you protest and say that you do not like the things that happen in this country, suddenly you're facing 2 to 3 years in jail. What happened to the few poor people that happened in Southampton? Which was terrible after what we'd seen, the body cam footage of poor Henry Nowak dying, and the police were handcuffing him as he was saying, I've been stabbed. And the first thing the police said was, I don't think you have, mate. That is a disgusting response. Another thing that the police have got to have, give us answers to. It's just horrific what's going on in the streets of the UK. It never used to be like this. We don't want it to be like this. We were never asked for mass uncontrolled immigration. We need to have far, far stronger penalties for knife crime. And in fact, I would join Restore Britain's calls for bringing back the death penalty in this country. I tell you, there are many people, many murderers and rapists who don't deserve to still be alive for the crimes, the horrific crimes they've committed against white British people in particular. It's awful, and we're here to come together to try and say we care about the people of this country, and we want it to be better. We want this place to be safe. We want our women and children to be safe. We don't want them to be raped and murdered. And you're just hearing about SSA every single day, it appears. This cannot go on. So please, join me when we say enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We're also saying stop the boats and send them back. That's what needs to happen, and that's what's going to happen. So anyway, that's enough of me talking. We've got the Wolf of Wolverhampton, Gary here. I'd like to say a few words. So here you go, Gary.
I'll pass it back to you in a minute. Okay. Well done, mate. Well done. What I'd like to say is we're all today, all of us are here today, so stand with his family. That girl, my heart goes out to her family, like all our hearts do. We look to our neck in Wolverhampton, but this is about these people here. What amazes me and disgusts me is, you'll see on social media, the police need your help. They need your help. What about helping us? Nobody tells us nothing. If it's not for the media guys, the social, the audits, we wouldn't know anything. It's a government directive to keep the lid on it. That's what it is. They're out to replace every one of us. They're out to replace us, and they don't care how you die or if you're ill. They want communism to run this country. The police now, in 1995, the police stopped being the police. They were formed into a corporation under the Companies Act. They work directly for the government. When the whole idea of the police from the first stage of it, when Robert Peel's day was out, was to protect the public, to protect and serve. In America, they've got the right to bear arms. Where's our right to bear arms for protection? I went out with a walking stick. Sorry, I went out with a baseball bat, then I changed it to a walking stick. They come to my house, didn't they? Because of bloody hooligans. Every life matters. It doesn't matter if you're a woman, black, white, to me. Every life matters. And what they're trying to do is, I've been on about this for 2 years, and I've been called a crank, an idiot. The cities of sanctuary and the schools of sanctuary, they're after the kids. They don't want to fight the next generation. That's what it is. But as I say, getting slightly off subject because it boils my piss. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for swearing. It's about this poor family. Tell that lady who's got attacked, our hearts and souls are with her. And we'll try to do something. We've got to do something to make this country safer for all of us. Thank you very much.
Well done, Gary, for the Wolf of Wolverhampton. But yeah, we mustn't forget, we're here mainly to support that poor woman's family and the poor woman herself, yeah? So can we all just put our hands on our heart for just one moment to show that we care. I care. And I know everyone watching at home will care about what happens. Hopefully we can raise awareness in this community and across our country that these things are happening. What we've been doing in our local area is we've been giving out free personal alarms. It's been so popular we've run out. We're going to be getting a load more. I've had multiple women coming up to me and saying, I don't feel safe in the streets of my own country. It breaks my heart to hear that. But I know that we can do something. We can do something, but it can be better. So we've given out loads of them. Absolutely loads of these personal alarms. I even think the men should have them now. you know. And just the other day, someone was attacked on a bus. They were attacked on a bus, and they had an alarm, and they pulled the alarm out, and the attacker stopped. They were so startled for a minute, and it just gave them enough time when a few other men on the bus were able to subdue them before the police arrived. So I'm saying now, to the men of England, first of all, where are you? Get yourselves down here, because women and children are unsafe, and if you call yourself a man, you need to be looking out for them. So if you see anything like that happening on a bus, a train, in a shop, you need to be standing up now, and standing up and saying, not on my watch. I will protect my own family, my own community, my own people. I will stand up and do something, because this is not right. So yeah, we're also talking about people looking after their houses, getting CCTV installed. Also, having the tracking locations on the phones, the maps for your children, know where they are at all times. Tell them that it's dangerous to go into certain shops. I've heard about mini-marts, especially in Dudley, and not too far away from me, where they had all sorts of trouble going on in the mini-marts, because what were they doing? They were applying alcohol and giving away free drugs, cocaine, heroin, to vulnerable children, and then they're getting them hooked on these things, and then they were taking them upstairs and having all sorts of stuff happening to them. They were being groomed. They were being groomed and raped. That's what was happening. So don't be going into these dodgy mini-marts. At least you're hopefully not going to get there if you're going to Tesco's or a co-op. So teach your children. Don't be going around late at night and you don't know where they are. You need to be really, really careful now and look after everybody. That's what it's all about. If you see something dodgy, report it to the police. Report it. Film them. Put it out on YouTube. Put it out there and say, look what's going on here. The more people that see what's going on in this country, the better. So talking about social media, please go and support all of the different right-wing groups on there, especially, as it says on our banner here today, Unite the Right UK. Please come and support them. Other groups like West Midlands Resistance have come down here today. The Patriots of Wolverhampton, Sutton Coldfield Patriots, Cannock Patriots. Multiple groups have come here today to try and help support these local communities that are all facing the same issues, having dodgy things happening in their community, and most people don't even realise it's going on. Well, let's hopefully loads of people see the videos that'll be posted from today. Maybe we might even get into the local news. No doubt they'll lie though, because if it's like me, where we got it to Birmingham Live, we call them Birmingham Lies. They keep posting articles that are just total left-wing fabrications of what actually happened. They'll say there'll be a far-right protest here. I tell you what, it's not far-right to care about your country, to care about your people, to care about your flag. That's not far-right. That's called being a patriot. So I'm pleased and proud to see each and every one of you coming out here today to support that message. That message will be going out, as I say, on the socials. Loads of people will be seeing this, and it's about raising awareness of what's happening, especially in this community. Just over there, I still can't believe it, but it's just over there for these tragic thing happened that night. We hope that girl gets justice, the family gets justice, and we want to say to the police, yet again, release the details. Release the details, you've got them. So what is the delay? What is the delay? The police, be better. Stop doing the two-tier policing. I don't know about you, but I saw the police's anti-racism commitment. It specifically says in that statement, there was about a year or two ago they brought out with it, it says to treat people differently based on their colour of their skin. That is not equality. That is not treating everybody the same under the law, is it? No, it's not. It's got to end. It's got to end. So make a voice heard. Make your voice heard to say, you don't agree with this. You don't consent to this. You don't want this. We never used to have this. So why have we got it now? It's all this DEI rubbish. We don't support DEI. But the DEI we do support, their DEI, we support our own DEI. Deport every illegal. That's the DEI I support, and I know you guys do too. So yeah, please, as I say, spread the message far and wide. Follow people on the socials. Follow Unite the Right UK. So yeah, it's about our following, just trying to create a safer country for everybody to live in. And that's what it is. And together with your help, we will get that. So yeah, thank you again for listening to me today. We really appreciate it. And yeah, I think we're going to have a few music tunes and have a bit of networking, a bit of a chat. And as I say, support the family at this time. So yeah, big up yourselves, well done. And just one other quick thing. Just remember, Stoke-on-Trent is anti-communist. We want nationalism in this country. We want a nationalist government in, one that's going to put the British people first, not last. White lives matter. White lives matter. White lives matter.